I think we're saying be more forgiving of yourself when a system goes awry, because it's gonna happen.
Welcome to Breaking Down Your Business.
Oh, come on!
Episode 338.
Pay us the big bucks
You
for
can-
your shouting and then you leave us hanging.
You can find the show notes of this episode at breakingdownyourbusiness.com/338.
I don't know why. We now need it.
The
from
shouty
you.
one is Brad from Anchor Advisors.
The less shouty one is Jill Salzman from the Founding Moms.
So, Jill, this month we're talking about systems.
Again.
Still,
Oh, still, I mean, that's the word I meant. That's the word I meant.
we get to talk about systems.
You know what? It's getting warmer for me. It's getting better.
Is it?
I'm accepting the fact that they're awesome.
Well, before we go too deep, we're going to hear from our sponsor, Comply Right.
Yes.
So, Jill, how much do you know about employment law?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You went to law school, you know nothing about
I
employment
know
law.
nothing about employment law.
How are small business owners supposed to figure out employment law if they didn't even go to law school?
Thankfully, we have an incredible sponsor called Comply Right.
Comply Right.
That's offering a 6-course freebie to educate you on employment stuff regarding
Wow.
your business. I know. So if you're a business owner, chances are you're juggling many HR tasks and you're trying to keep up with the ever-changing employment laws. They're changing all the time.
Yep.
HR 101 from Comply Right is a free online training program that'll give you a solid understanding of employment law so you can handle typical workplace issues like a pro.
This is completely free?
Yeah, I'm just going to list to you some of the courses that they offer. General legal obligation for employers, recruiting and hiring,
Hard.
classifying workers correctly,
Complicated.
managing your employees, preventing
Tricky.
workplace harassment,
Yikes.
and discipline and termination. So I'm going to send you to complyright.com/courses. It's totally free. Go there right now. Do the thing.
Wow. You know, Jill, we've talked a lot about how great systems are, that they save us time.
They really are.
That they keep us organized.
No, it's true.
That they help us transition from one team member to another. They maintain quality for us. But there's a dark side to systems.
But all we've been talking about is how awesome they are.
Yes. Today we're going to talk about how systems go wrong.
Oh, dear God.
So I got an email last week.
It just got real dark. Wait, how bad did they get? What are you talking
Well, I
about?
mean, there's simple ones, right? I got an email last week that had all the personalization in it was wrong.
Oh, you know
know.
what? I'm gonna talk about this in the context of automation.
Yes.
Because you like to be extremely so hands off that there are literally no hands on the process.
Correct.
And that machines are talking to each other to spit out emails and post things for you and insert things for you.
Yep.
And I have never had luck with automation.
Okay.
And so that's the big ugly side to it for me that is probably the only bad side. So like when you create, I'm going to give the best example everybody's familiar with because we've all received this email from somebody where it says, "Dear bracket name,
Yes.
bracket,
Yes.
comma,"
Yes.
because the automated system forgot to put my name in there.
No, that's not why. It's because the person writing the email used the wrong variable in their that's
I don't
always
even
a
care.
user error.
Whatever the thing is.
Yeah, I understand.
Because to me, the outcome is far worse than taking 2 seconds to put their name in manually.
But how do you do that when you're sending 10,000 emails?
I don't send 10,000 emails.
Yes, you do.
Actually, you're right, I do. I don't put a greeting if I do a massive
Okay.
email.
All right.
I think that's why. I don't even say like, "Hey everybody." I don't even say "Hey," comma. I just begin
All right.
because I don't want, for some reason I'm under the illusion that you're under the illusion that it's personally for you, even though clearly it's a mass email.
So I have a system that I created. There's a personality test that I use in my recruiting process.
Cool.
And I have an automation where I have a Google form where I can request that be sent out to a group of people or to a person.
Yep.
And then Zapier will send them, because it's the same email every time, "Hey, come, here's how you take the thing." And then when they take the thing, there's an email that goes to my assistant, and she goes and downloads the thing, and then she knows to bill them for the thing, and then she sets up a phone call where I can go over it with them.
Okay.
And so that automation all works great until all of a sudden one day, no matter what I put into the form, it sent that notification to the same person, which was someone that we had.
Why?
I don't know. It was a computer mess up thing.
That is very technical
It just-
and expert sounding.
It kept sending this email to this poor person that we had done a thing for a month ago. And he's like, hey, I'm already in the job. Do I need to do this again? And I'm like, no. And so sometimes things break.
Actually,
right?
we've had scheduling breaks on when guests sign up to be on our
Yes.
podcast.
Right.
And then I don't know why they're put into the wrong time slot or the wrong date, or they want to show up on a Tuesday and we only record on Friday.
Right. And that's a system that
It's been
depends,
messy.
It depends on a Google Calendar that I have to set in a certain way. And sometimes we get past the last way that I set that. And that's when that gets screwed up. But it's almost always user error, except for this crazy computer screw up thing that
There
I talked
is mostly user error, but in fact, I've recently come across one. I use a platform for my webinars that I do every month
Yes.
called Big Marker. And what's interesting about this glitch you would never think is a glitch
Right.
is that I do them at 11 a.m. Central Time
Yes.
because I'm in Chicago.
Yes.
Somebody I was recently talking to in the Philippines went to the Big Marker link for my webinar, and it only shows her local time, what
Yes,
time it is. Well,
right.
I don't know what 11 a.m. here is there, but let's pretend it's 5 p.m.
It's
so
5
it
a.m.
only it only shows as 5 a.m. and she was busy helping me promote it and needed to know that it was 11 a.m. and she kept getting the time wrong because she was doing her own math, and let's just say her skill is typing, not math. And so it was like an unintentional glitch where Big Marker was a platform that thought they were helping by
Correct.
adjusting it for
Right.
you, when in fact that was not a good system to use.
So
I guess essentially it was broken.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. For
And-
my purpose.
So the point is that sometimes another good example. We talked last time about having screenshots that help somebody.
I love that.
Right. But then the software changes. Right. And so the little box that you're supposed to click isn't where it is on the screenshot. And then people are like, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. So there are systems do go bad on you.
They do bend and break.
Now, what I will say is maintaining those systems is still a lot less work than not having systems. That's what I want to say to start with.
Oh.
But it's not like a fire and forget.
That sounds like a headache, and I would actually
It
rather...
is a headache.
Do you check all your systems, or do you have someone check them?
Well, like I said, the person who's running the process, it's their job to maintain it. So if the software changes and that box isn't there anymore, they should figure out where that box is, take a new screenshot, and replace it in the document.
I'm just glad to hear you're not doing it.
No,
'cause
I'm
I
not
thought
doing
you
it.
were doing it.
No, but when the automation was sending emails to the same guy over and over again, it was my job to fix that because I had created the automation and nobody else knew how to do that.
Right.
Now I've got a new VA that I would give that to now because she's good with that. But
Yep.
But yeah, sometimes you have to, or if the software changes and someone's like, I don't see the box. Sometimes they've renamed it, and you have to go figure out where, what it is that
We
does
can also
that
talk
same
about
thing.
human error in creating systems, where I hired a VA some time ago, literally for the purpose of creating a system for me.
Okay.
I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I knew all the things that I eventually wanted to see come out of it.
Yes.
So I started throwing things at her, like, I
Mm-hmm.
want to see this in there somewhere. I want to see this in there somewhere. You figure out the order. She's great and has been doing an excellent job at figuring out the order. But I, as the founder, have assumed now that I've told her certain things that I never told her.
Yes.
And so
oh my gosh, that happens all the time.
The people aren't getting the things that they're supposed to be getting. And then I get mad at her. Why didn't that happen?
Right.
And she goes, what are you talking about? And we spend a good 10 minutes going, what? And then I have to figure out, like, oh, that's me.
Yeah, the worst, honestly, is when we assume we told people. And I will argue with people. I absolutely told you that. And I am totally wrong.
I have found embarrassingly, I've done the same. And it's so awful when you're like,
yeah, I'm the problem.
I didn't
I
do that.
am the problem.
Or I thought I did and it was at the wrong day. And actually, sometimes maybe they catch the wrong information at the wrong time. And we can choose to just keep blaming everybody else. But, just know that there's also human error in this.
So what I want to talk about a little bit is about auditing systems.
Okay.
And the ones that need auditing the most are like automated email sequences, which I understand that you hate, but I'm going to guess when someone signs up for your webinar, there are probably some automated emails that they get.
Actually, I never even created them. So yes, for sure.
Yeah. So every now and then, somebody needs to go sign up for that as a new user.
Correct.
And see what happens. Because
on my team, you mean,
Yeah.
not just a random.
Right. No, because we need to see, we need to audit.
Funny
that.
you say that. Just this week, we have started to go through all the sequences of all of the email systems that we have because really, I'm so embarrassed. No one ever wrote down any of the sequences that we send out. Ever. And we just like forgot or never thought that would be an issue or that we'd ever have so many systems.
Right.
So I literally don't know what people get when they sign up
Yes.
and for how long
Yes.
and when it shows up.
Yes.
And for some weird reason, there's no tracking system within the software
That's weird.
that maybe I also assumed existed.
Mine has a tracking system.
Or
where you
maybe
can
it
see
does exist and I don't know how to find it.
But
I don't know.
the interesting thing to me is like you embed helpful links in there, and those links age. They're not so helpful anymore,
That is
or
correct.
they don't go anywhere.
There is a WordPress plugin called Broken Link Checker
yes,
or something
yes.
that you
but
can
that doesn't
install.
work for your emails.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm saying it so that anybody listening who's a developer can develop that for us. Thank you.
So you need to audit that. You need to see if what you're saying is still the thing you want to say.
Yeah.
That the links all work.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm promoting one thing at one time and something else at another time, and I go back and I'm like, well, why am I promoting that old thing? I don't do that thing anymore.
Yeah.
And so you have to change that stuff out.
And there are also systems where you don't realize that there are certain links you never want found on Google that you forgot to hide and aren't found on Google. And then a guy emails you and says, oh, I saw this thing that you normally pay for that I'm
For
seeing
free.
for free. And
Not
you
that
punch
that
your
happened
screen.
to you. Yeah.
No, that didn't happen to me
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah. The other thing about systems is that there are sometimes exceptions, right? There are things that are outside the norm. And I want my
I don't know what you're talking about, Brad.
so, for instance, in the personality profile thing that we talked about earlier,
Okay.
sometimes I use that personality profiling tool when we're hiring, right? And so I'll still put someone into the form, but we're not billing anybody for that because I'm the one
Oh,
who's...
what you mean? And then they get a bill?
Well, then the VA calls me and is like, who do I bill for this, Brad? There's no customer in the thing, right?
Ah.
So it's okay that exceptions come up to you, right?
Sure.
As long as the 80%
Yes.
stuff gets handled.
Yes.
The oddball stuff, you want to tell your team, yes, your job is to handle this, except if it's something weird, then
Right.
call me,
Right.
right? Because
Yeah.
the exceptions should always come to you.
I think we're saying be more forgiving of yourself when a system goes awry because it's going to happen.
Right.
It's going to show up and it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you have a system in place. I was actually just realizing anybody who's listening who's extremely competitive should, at the end of this episode, have the new goal of trying to create as many systems as humanly possible for your business. And then call us at 708-872-7878. Tell us how many systems you have.
Yeah. How many?
Because do you have more than 14? I want to know.
Do you have more than 14, Joe?
I don't know. I'm going to go home and count.
All right. I'm going
I
to
have
go
no
home and
idea.
count too.
Okay. Please leave us a review at breakingdownyourbusiness.com/iTunes because we will love you forever if you do.
Well, Jill will.
Brad, we crushed it.